Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars Now. I am here at Bobby Rahal Toyota in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania on the Carlisle Pike, and I am taking a look at this car. And this car is special for a couple reasons. Now, this is a 2021 Toyota Venza. Now, before my wife and I got our Audi Q5, we had a 2011 Toyota Venza for 7 years, and that was a great car. It looked good. I loved the big wheels. It had the space we needed as we started our family a couple years later. But now this car is back for 21. It's been off the market since 2015. It is back as a hybrid, sort of slotted in between the RAV4 and the Highlander, and I think it looks really good. So we're going to take a look through it. We're going to go over all the specs. Then we're going to get this thing out on the road. So let's take a look at the Venza. Now, something that's a little bit different about this second generation Venza is that it is now a hybrid. There's the badge right there. It has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, but it also has a battery pack. Just when I drove this car over here, it makes no noise until you get to about 10 miles per hour, then the engine pops on. But yeah, I think this was a great idea for them to bring back this car because I thought it was like a perfect in-betweener. It's a little bit longer and sleeker looking, so you might not have as much cargo space as like a RAV4 or obviously not a Highlander. But I just think it always looked better than both of them. Plus it had the space and sort of like the style that this car always had. Now this car is, in other countries it is rebadged as a Toyota Harrier, and I'm not sure if that's Japan or Europe, but I think it looks really good. I really think this could be like a bargain Lexus RX because that car just looks kind of like a pig a little bit. Anyway, but I think the styling looks really good. So let's talk about the styling. Now, we're talking about the styling of the Venza, and I think it still looks really good. The first generation Venza I thought always looked good, but it just looks a little sleeker and better looking. I mean, this is definitely a better looking car than the RAV4. You can tell that the line just sort of sloped down. But yeah, going off the front, see there's the hybrid badge right there. Now, there are 3 trim levels, and this one is the LE. There's an LE, an XLE, and then a Limited. This one is an LE. Now, this car is on sale for about $34,000, but all the standard safety features you get, plus the styling, I think it would be a really good deal. Now, I think this car would compete with like a Ford Edge or a Nissan Murano, other cars like that, but I think just the styling looks really good. Now, what Toyota does with hybrids, they always put the sort of blue badging around the emblem right there. But yeah, there's the LEDs. The LEDs are right there. They're sweeping down. It just looks like everything sort of sweeps down into the middle. And it's kind of keeping with the tradition. The previous Venza I thought really just looked like a wagon version of a Camry, and I think this front fascia right here sort of just echoes that again. I think this really looks like the front end of a Camry. But yeah, I just think these mirrors here with the turn signal indicators in there sort of look like Lexus mirrors. We all know Toyota is a cousin to Lexus. But yeah, I just think it looks really good. I was so excited when I found out that this was coming back to the market. And all my videos that I did on my previous Venza, everybody has commented now, hey, you got to go review a 2021 Venza. But yeah, so the LE has a little bit smaller wheels. The same engine power plant is in all 3 trims, just the trims get a little bit more luxurious as you go higher because this car has cloth seats and it does not have the Stargaze roof. Now, the Stargaze roof that I mentioned just a second ago is a feature that this car has, I think, in the Limited trim. But the only other car that I know that has that is like a Mercedes S-Class or like a McLaren 720. Now, it has the sunroof. Now, this car does not have it, just for the record. But you press a button and the sunroof goes from opaque to transparent. And I think that's just such a good idea. I don't really have my sunroof open that much, but it would be nice if it was a little bit cloudy out to be able to just press a button to have it completely open instead of messing with a shade that goes forward and back all the time. But this car does not have it. That's okay. I mean, this is a lower trim, but I had to mention because I think it's just such a cool feature. All right, we're gonna keep going with the styling. Okay, now moving around to the back. Well, this is where I think the styling gets very bold. They have a light bar going along the complete outside edge. Now you can really tell that this sort of light bar really like sticks out of the back bumper there. I just think it looks really good. We know that the standard light bars that go across the whole back of cars is is really a trend in cars these days, and I think this car, it looks pretty good. In the front too, like this is the light, the stop lights and the turn signals, but your reverse light is all the way down there on the bottom. That's kind of cool. Now, a lot of times when you separate the reverse lights from the turn signals and lights, it doesn't work, but I think this works. I think it's the exact same in the front too. No, it's not the same in the front. I think the turn signals are way up there. But yeah, I think in the higher trims, these two right there would be where the fog lights are. This car doesn't have it, but that's okay. So as far as the styling goes, I think they nailed it. I think it looks equally as good as the first generation, which that was the main thing that I loved about the Venza. I thought it looked really good. And this looks better than a Ford Edge. This looks better than a Nissan Murano. I think the interior is nice too. We're gonna go check that out in a minute. But as far as styling goes, I think they nailed it. All right, let's take a look at the engine. Okay, now here is the engine of the Venza. This is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. There's about 219 combined horsepower to go along with the engine and the hybrid power. Now this is the same engine that's in the Camry hybrid. I know the RAV4 Prime, which is their hybrid version, has a lot more horsepower. That's something like 302. Plus, I'm gonna zonk as Rady's Ride says on this little prop there. I mean, if you want to, I know this is not a premium automaker, but I just think every car needs to have the hydraulic lifts to get your hood up. But anyway, that's okay. So now, if you're buying this car, you're not buying it for the performance. You're buying it for the reliability. I think the attractive appearance, that simple transportation that can get you from A to B. So that is the engine right there. This is not going to be the star of the car. I think the absolute star of the car is the styling. I think it looks very good, especially in this color too. It looks very nice, like a light gray. So yeah, that's the engine. All right, let's check out the trunk. All right, now here is the key of the Venza. We're gonna hold this button to open the trunk up, and our license plate is gonna fall. Maybe, nope. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so here's the trunk. Now, this is pretty big and pretty spacious for a car of this size. My family took this car to the beach. We put all of our bags and everything that we own for a week in a car this size. So I think the space is more than enough. I mean, if you have a couple kids, it might be a little bit tight, and then you might want to go up to the Highlander size car. But I think I will put on the screen how this compares to the competitors. But I think this is definitely doable. You've got a 60/40 rear seat right there. You can put the seats down. So I think it's more than adequate. I mean, in a car of this size and price point and performance, this is definitely big enough for a family of any size. Now, one thing I'm just laughing because when I handed in our Venza, this little sheet there that we rolled in, I forgot to give it to Audi. I feel so bad. I think it is still laying in my basement, but this little cargo cover, I just totally forgot to hand it in. So that just is making me laugh as I see this thing. All right, let's check out the inside of the Venza. Okay, going to the inside of the Venza. Now, like I said before, this is an LE trim, so we do have cloth seats, but just looking at the quality of the materials on the door here looks really nice. I like that sort of little swooping little leather piece right here, nice stitching. So, going in. Now, this car has a very similar feel to what the RAV4 had. You've got a big screen right in front of you. In the LE trim that we're in, this is like an 8.3 inch screen. In the bigger trims, you get a 12.3 inch, which is the whole screen. But yeah, it pretty much looks like a RAV4 interior, which is not a bad thing. This is a similar looking steering wheel. Feels nice in your hand. Now, one thing about this car that I didn't mention, this car has an electronic Cvt transmission, which is a continuously variable transmission. It's a little bit different than your conventional automatic torque converter automatic. I'm interested to see how that will feel out on the road, because it's something I really don't have too much experience with in driving. Also, this car comes standard with all the safety features you would want in a car of this class. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, all the rear cross traffic alert, all the stuff that you would want in a car is standard, and that was exact same as the RAV4. This is something that I think is very nice that it comes with the car. Not like in the higher trims, you have the extra safety features. This is the base trim, and it already comes standard with all of those features. Now, we're going to start it up just to see how different it is, because it's pretty silent. There it is. Don't hear an engine start up. I think it starts when you get to about 10 miles an hour. But yeah, you've got 2 gauges front and center. You've got a screen right in the middle of those where you can go through a bunch of different things. You know, your miles per gallon. Oh, the engine just started up. I could hear it. Probably just because the air is on. But these are nice legible gauges. Now this screen is not a tachometer. That sort of is your hybrid sort of meter. It tells you when you're charging and when you're in eco mode and when you're on the power. I'll be interested to see how that sort of goes over all the way to the right side there. But on the right, you got your speedometer, you're in your fuel gauge. But yeah, I like it. I think the quality is there. Now, another thing I didn't mention, this car gets 40 miles to the gallon in city driving. I think this car gets 40 and the upper trims get a 1 or 2 mile per gallon less because this has the smaller wheels, the 18-inch compared to the 19-inch. But yeah, 40 miles per gallon in a car like this that looks like this. I just saw that when I noticed the total average 20.8 miles per gallon. Probably just because this car has been shuffled around. But in city driving, 40 miles per gallon is just about double what the competitors get. I know a Ford Edge and like a Nissan Murano in the city, they get about 20. So that's another win for the Venza in that column. So let's keep on with the interior. Now, just like the other Toyota models, in the main screen, you sort of got 3 different little tiles. You've got your audio right there, your phone could be right there, and monitor of your battery. If you click each, it'll make it bigger on the screen. But yeah, this just shows the engine, the motor, and the battery, sort of what your charging status is. That's pretty nice. They call that energy monitor. We'll go back. So I think it's cool that if you click on one, it'll make it on the whole screen. But yeah, the screen is nice, the quality is there. It's nice to have the touch buttons for the volume and to go home and menu and all that stuff. So yeah, I like the big dials for the HVAC controls. That's nice. See down here we've got an EV mode. That's pretty cool. We'll go through the different drive modes when we're out on the road. There's your park and brake, your auto hold, which I don't mind, although some people don't like it. But yeah, I think the quality is nice. 2 cup holders down here. Nice blue light right there. I will definitely not knock this car for anything in the interior. I think the quality is there, the features are there. This is what Toyota's design language looks like for many of their cars, and I think it works. So I like it a lot. All right, let's go into the back seat. All right, going into the back seat of the Venza. It is so weird that the car is on, but it just doesn't. I don't hear anything. Now this seems very similar to what the car I had before. I think the space is decent. Now I had the seat where I was driving, and I have a couple inches of legroom right here. Now we've got some HVAC controls in the back, some nice little pockets on the back of the seat. Same stitching on the doors, which I think is nice. Yeah, not much to report. We don't have the Stargaze roof, but that's okay. But yeah, the quality is still here. I think this, for someone like me who has 1 kid, this would definitely be more than enough space, I think, for my family. I think if you had 2 kids, it might be just a little bit tight, to get all your stuff in there, but not bad. Now the sun is finally coming out here on this Friday. Now, just to wrap up this car, the 2021 Toyota Venza, I am super glad that this car is back in the market, and I think if I was in the market for a, smallish mid-size SUV that had a little bit of style, I think you can do a lot worse than this car. I would really pick this car over like a Ford Edge or a Nissan Murano or like a Kia Sorento. I just think the styling is really cool. And in doing my research for this car, they always said like Toyota should bring this car back sort of as the Harrier in the other markets, and it is exactly what they did. So it's good to see that they listen to people. I think you don't lose much space compared to its cousin, the RAV4, but I think the styling goes a long way in dictating what I look for in a car. So I'm glad that this car is back. I like it a lot. Big thank you to Bobby Rahal Toyota on the Carlisle Pike. I'll put their website right here. So we're gonna end this video, and then we're gonna get this out on the road and see what it's like to drive. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Venza. I hope the positive comments keep coming on this car. I know so many people love the first generation Venza. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where you can see the cars that I drive before it gets posted to YouTube. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.